Good evening and welcome to your own channel MBA Wallah English, and today we are here so that we can take care of all your concerns regarding preparation. But before we get into those concerns, and don't worry, we are around, we take your questions. Let us in fact tell you about this fascinating new thing that we are bringing for you, and that is...
Of course, the special announcement goes here, and we have MBA Ignite 2026 specifically for those people who actually wish to study in complete English language, right? So we already have the batches going on for the students who are working with Hindi plus English communicating classes, but this time we identified that some of you over there just wish to study completely
in fact,
in
a lot
English.
of them,
a lot of them, right?
In fact, we did not realize that a lot of people who were studying with us in those Hindi batches were also perhaps preferred English batches. So we have a lot of queries, and that's why we started one batch. But after we started that, we once again started receiving a lot of queries even now. And that's why we decided to bring in MBA Ignite 26, where you are going to be taught exclusively in English. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the batch features so that you know what you're going to get in this batch.
Absolutely. So this batch is going to cover entire academic syllabus and the features that will help you to score a better, or I would say best, in all the examinations given on the board, and that includes the CAT exam, and not just the CAT exam but also the OMETs, right? And when we talk about the other management entrance tests, these are the ones which are mentioned: SNAP, CMAT, NMAT, ZAT and MAH-CET. So one short solution, everything is covered. What would you say, Vikrant sir? Now students students don't have to run here and there. They can just go ahead and study at one platform.
So a lot of you actually tend to ask us, sir, is it going to cover all the exams? Absolutely, yes, it does. And a lot of you are also asking us about the differences between the CAT and the SNAP or the NMAT. So let's see, let me just capture it very concisely. Those differences predominantly have to do with English, very little to do with Quant, I reckon.
Just the question type.
But in English, one of the key things that you'd get is grammar and vocabulary. So two major areas that you need to study that a lot of people, although we advise them against it, but they ignore it for their CAT prep. And thus, so grammar and vocabulary, are you going to get those classes? Absolutely, yes. Then there are a lot of aspects of verbal reasoning. Remember those statement assumption questions, statement conclusion questions, course of action questions. In all the other entrance exams, these are typically a part of the logical reasoning section. So we are going to cover those question types. Plus, there are a lot of non-verbal reasoning questions as well, which will be covered by Surana sir later for you.
Absolutely.
So we dive into those. And for Quant too, I think you'd take some strategy sessions
for Quant,
later.
Sir, I guess it is majorly the question times, and that's so when I see this particular exam, NMAT, right? So NMAT is the one where we have a different kind of question type which is called as data sufficiency. So we'll be working for that, and once we jump from Quant to LRDI section, and now CAT is heavily dominated with the normal puzzles, right? Caselets. But when we go to the OMETs, we see blood relations, standard questions based on clocks, calendars. So that thing will also be taken care by your favorite Surana sir, right?
So everything basically are for all of these exams that are listed right behind us and that you've already seen. So if you have any question related to these, do drop in when we open the session for our questions. And we can take up some more of your queries then.
But before that, let's just go ahead and tell them the other features of the batch, because this is just the one of the key feature that it takes care of your entire syllabus that is related to CAT as well as the OMETs. Moving ahead, what we have is the live classes with unlimited playbacks. Now what does that mean is that you attend the classes live with us. That is the first and the foremost feature. And now let us say you missed a particular class, nothing to be nothing you should be worrying of, because the classes will get recording and you can see those recordings n number of times with unlimited playbacks. So one most important feature, unlimited playback for each and every class. We'll understand the next feature from Vikrant sir.
So a lot of you ask us, sir, how do I really go on to make notes? So basically every single thing that we write during the class is given to you later. So as a result, you don't really have to worry about that passive note making where you try to jot down everything which was taught in the class. You can simply move towards active note taking, where you jot down those key points that you think were important for you when it comes to revising that class. So obviously those annotated class notes and
Specifically in Quant, I would say when you're sitting in the classes, right, you just sit with a rough notebook and a pen, because in Quant and LRDI, you need to solve a lot, cut things a lot. So just, make the notes later on. So we are saving that time for you. We are giving you the notes, whatever we write. And then the next feature is, of course, the DPPs with the solutions as well.
So
right?
we have a tendency to use DPPs a lot. In case you
Correct.
do not know that, these are called daily practice problems. Whenever we teach a particular area, a particular question type to you, it is followed by some high quality practice problems designed to cement your understanding
Absolutely.
of the basics, and each one of them also comes with a video solution prepared by the faculty members themselves.
So basically it is about taking you to the highest point step by step. First the classes, then you go ahead with the notes, and then you go ahead and practice how much you have understood from that particular class. And now moving ahead, we have the next feature, that is weekly class test. Now, one step at a time. Now you have covered the entire week, you have done some practice questions of each and every topic, and then comes that you test your entire week learning with the weekly class test. And now, what is the next step? Let's learn from Vikrant sir.
Once you're done with weekly tests, what do you switch over to? You either move over to section tests or mock tests. So those tests are followed by mock tests in order to give you experience of the actual exam, and that will help you with your test taking stamina, your test taking strategy, and above all, the deep analysis that you get and that you engage in will also tell you the areas that you need to further improve on.
And absolutely, during this preparation, if you feel that you are stuck at any certain point, if you have any doubt, and then we have this particular feature, 24/7 doubt support. So I guess you can just have a look at all the features what we have right now, from the classes to the notes, and then the DPPs, class test, mock test, and the doubt. So I guess everything is covered.
Every single aspect that you need during your prep is covered right here.
And this is absolutely for all the papers, that is CAT and the OMETs, which we have mentioned before. Let go ahead and walk you through the other features.
So one very unique thing that we have brought for you in this particular batch is something called infinite practice. So I told you that when you write a mock, there are times when you discover that you are weak in a particular area. Absolutely. And now you require more practice, or maybe you are done with the concepts but you want to now work on speed. So what do? You can actually set up your own practice where you decide your level of difficulty, your number of questions. There are days when you have plenty of time, but then there are days when you realize I have only 20 minutes. So just set up a test for 10 questions. Go ahead, dive in, and you can write them in the quiz mode as well as the test mode. So both of those things can, depending upon what your need is, can be very helpful in phase 2 of your preparation when you move towards mastery of your concepts.
Absolutely. All of us, sir, we all have one tendency that we keep analyzing things. We do analyze our weaknesses. We are dealing with the weekly test or the mock test, but now the point is the next step. What you do after you have analyzed a particular weakness, you refine it. And in that particular area, this particular feature come in aid. All right. Infinite practice, select the topic you wish to practice, select the number of questions. And if you have any pressure related to the time, you can also make a test in a form of practice. That means no clock ticking over there. Once you get command over there, make it into a quiz format where you can also add the time. So one step at a time actually is very, very true when it comes to infinite practice. So let's go ahead. So this is the feature which you get with this batch as well, regular batch, right? For the first time.
Or as if you better understand it that way, the base variant.
Absolutely.
Of course, we have a lot of special features for other variants, but then this is something which is a part of in your MBA
Ignite batch 2026,
at the base variant,
right?
Itself.
So let's go ahead and talk further about the important details related to the batch. So language, we have already told you it's going to be in complete English. All right. Next is when the classes are going to start. 6th July 2026, very soon, right, in the next 10-15 days. When the classes end, 20th November 2026.
We are aiming at finishing the syllabus by this date. Yes.
Absolutely. But we are quite sure that we'll try to push it in before. All right. And then, of course, going ahead. All right. So the batch validity, it stays till 30th April 2027. Now, the point is the CAT is in November. Why it is 30th April? Because this batch also includes OMETs, and we understand that then you will be having your ZAT exam in January, CMAT in March, maybe. All right, so every OMET will be covered That is why the batch validity is till 30th April 2027. So you can see all the important details behind us, I guess. So let's go ahead.
If I squeeze
Yes.
in, they can read it too.
I guess now
So
they
there
must.
you go.
All right. So you must have taken that snapshot. Let's go ahead. All right. So now what are the faculty members who are going to train you for each and every subject, who are going to make you the master of each and every section? Let's go ahead and have a look at that as well.
So here is the first one. Bhaskar sir. So
You must have seen him.
most of you already know him as the heavyweight that we have in our team, in more ways than one. And
Correct.
he brings in more than a decade-long experience where he has coached people for quite a few different entrance exams where his core domain has been B-School entrance exams. He is going to be one key figure for you when it comes to mastering quantitative aptitude.
All right, so he's going to cover the majority of the quant section with you guys. You must have seen him, working hard for you guys on this very channel, MBA Wallah English. Yeah, right, creating videos for you for multiple sections or topics, I would say. Moving ahead, now CAD also has multiple subjects. So, of course, LRDI for the CAD and the OMETs, LRDI will be taken care by Amit Surana sir. Experience of 14 plus years, right? He's going to help you. Hold your hand and walk you through all those puzzles and the tricky area of LRDI.
And then, of course, I think I rarely say this to his face, but then we do know Rahul sir, right? So he, truckload of experience. I think, have they changed it? It's still 15 years? Has it not become 16 now?
Oh, sir, 15 plus, very close to 16 in November, of course.
Almost 16 years of experience. And you've seen his videos, you've seen his fan following. You have seen these truckloads of mentions that he get on social media, especially on LinkedIn when the results come out. And that is because for 15 long years, he has gone on to help thousands of students level up, and very, very, very many of those actually end up joining their dream colleges, all thanks to the efforts that he puts in order to ensure that their quant does not become a bottleneck. And finally, of course.
So see, quant I'll take care of, right? As sir has already mentioned, we make sure that you hit those percentiles in the quant, but one area that is when you're looking for that dream college, that does not happen only with one subject. That happens with when you have the trio complete, when you have all the three subjects complete. We have talked about LRD and quant, but one major step of the tripod is missing, and that is the VARC. And for that, of course, we have the most seasoned 24 plus years. He's going to have his silver jubilee very soon, right off the teaching part, I guess. So I guess when he'll be celebrating his silver jubilee of 25 plus years of experience, you will be standing right beside and celebrating your convert, right? So he'll be handling each and everything of the verbal section from the CAD to the OMETs, and rest assured, if you specifically fear from this particular section, because with all the experience he has, he'll make sure that you reach those zenith percentiles like one he has, 100 percentile score in VARC. So I hope I can add this kind of credibility or characteristic to your name as well very soon.
So that's the team that you'd be working with over the course of next 150 days in order to make that magic happen.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead. Once we have already seen the faculty members, let's go ahead and talk about the other variants which sir told, and that is the pro batch for the pro features. Now, what are the pro features? I guess let's just walk them one by one. All right. So the first feature, the pro feature, which you get with the pro batch, all right, and that is, I guess this, you have to press the next button over there.
If you can help us.
All right. Fine. So CAD and OMETs infinity. And now what we get in the pro features, and that is the first thing is each and every feature of Ignite batch. So if you go for this pro batch, everything we have talked about in the Ignite batch, whether the classes, DPPs, weekly tests, and mock test, everything you get in this batch. Apart from that, what do you get is MBA One Pass. Now, what is this MBA One Pass? This is a test series, right? A name that is associated with the MBA Wallah in the last 3-4 years, where we give you the best curated test out there, very, very relevant questions. I would say, rather than a mock, it gives you a feel of CAT before CAT, right? So you get all the kind of mock tests related to CAT, OMETs, You also get some features like 365 days test, 5 questions every day, and also some PDFs which help you to boost your preparation or help you revise the entire concept just before the exam, right? The things which are very, very useful in the last 15 days. Apart from that, we also get set of 4 books, and
Oh,
I
sorry.
guess
So books. There you go.
Vikrant sir, would you like to tell them about the set of 4 books? What
Of
books
course,
do
yeah.
they
So
get?
these were books that we went on to launch last year. So Juhi ma'am and I came together to write a book that covers every aspect of VARC. Then Rahul sir, along with Vineet sir, went on to create a really amazing in-depth book on quantitative aptitude. And Gaurav sir created and curated a lot of high quality DILR sets coupled with theory for his particular book. But then the gold standard always remains PYQs, and you are going to get the PYQs of, I think, last 8 years, 9 years
Right?
now, 8 years now.
Right.
And that's going to be quite a handful. And on top of that, you see this Khazana thingy here? So those of you who are very eager to start your preparation, those of you who are obsessive, those of you who are going to pour in hours upon hours of practice, you may feel that, hey, the batch is starting on the 6th, but then what if I want to wrap up my preparation faster? That's where Khazana comes in, where we
Absolutely.
give you a set of curated lectures that cover the various aspects of syllabus. In case you want to go ahead of the live classes, this allows you to do that as well.
So I guess this is one of the feature that is absolutely for the curious aspirants who do not wish to wait for 6th July. You can start watching the videos, start learning maybe the basic areas like percentage ratio, or just start developing the reading habits and get familiar with the syllabus. Now after Khazana, we also have the GDPI prep feature. Now what is this GDPI prep feature? See, once you score, we know that CAT exam is just the half journey done. After the CAT percentile, you also have to go ahead with the GDPI profile evaluation, where you go ahead and then including your profile and your CAT percentile, you get a top tier B school. So now all the people who score well or who are eligible for the calls actually get the GDPI prep, and that happens offline as well as online. All of you will be called over here once you score and you get those percentiles and get the calls. Those people will be called in the Noida office, and we all will sit together and refine your communication skills, refine your profile, so that a percentile and that prep can help you go ahead and secure the top B school seat.
And that's very important. No? The next set of selection rounds actually carry at times as much as 50% of the weightage. So you can't ignore that. And then let's not forget that when you take the pro batch, the Infinity, you get access to all the batches in English medium that are available on the platform.
Absolutely.
Except for Power Batch. We don't really have a Power Batch in English at this moment, but
right
just to be on the safer
but
side.
in case if it comes, right?
So a small cohort batch is something that you may not get access to, but everything else is something that remains available.
Right? So all the batches which covers exclusively in English language, right? So this is the features panel for, I guess, the Infinity, right? And I guess one more upgrade if we have, that is
that's
MBA Infinity Pro. So this is the master variant of all the variants, I would say. Now, what does this MBA Infinity Pro brings in? What are the extra features when we have given everything in the Infinity, sir?
Everything in the regular batch, then every feature of the pro batch, and then some more. Let's go ahead and dive into that.
Absolutely.
So what you get in Infinity Pro is
the RTS, that is the real test series. Now what is this RTS? Now see, many of you give mocks, you prepare well, and you see that your scores are improving and you reach your desired score in the mock test. But there is a lot of difference once you sit at the home in the environment which is familiar to you, and then one is when you go out, you're working on a computer which is not yours at some place where the environment is new, and you see a lot of students. So the real exam is somewhere different than the mock exam. So how to bridge that gap? We thought of a particular thing, that is RTS, the real test series, where you get out of your house and you reach the center and you take the test offline, right? And that actually helps you to understand that how the real day feels like when you go ahead and take the CAT exam. So we have 200 plus centers pan India. So definitely high
I'm sure
chances.
you'd find some place close to you.
Absolutely.
To travel to and then attempt the exam.
And then of course you have these 4 offline tests which you can go ahead and give, and in case you are, let us say, not able to travel on a particular day, then of course it is also available in the online, so you never miss a test. But of course we want that you travel, because sir, even the CAT centers, when you fill
Absolutely.
in, there is a possibility that you will have to travel sometimes a little far, right? But we have made sure that there are 200 centers, so you'll easily find one near you. Right, you should have the habit of leaving your own premises and go out there and take the test in an environment which is not familiar to you. You get to test your real self, and also that physical training that happens during this travel, you get to experience that a day before. All right.
The pressure of the
Absolutely.
examination hall, you need to know that. And then do look up this list of 200 centers. Tell us which center is farthest from your house.
So that is
And
an
then
activity which you have to do. See, LRDI has already started, right?
Right.
Let's go ahead, and then that is how it looks like. You'll be sitting with a number of students, gives you a feel of the real exam. 4 such exams you get in this Infinity Pro RTS feature. Now, what is the other feature which you get in this Infinity Pro, which is missing from the other batch, is 1:1 mentorship by top alumni. As you have seen, that MBA Wallah is now 4 years, old, and now this family is not just related to us, the faculty members which we have shown. Of course, there are some people working behind the camera, but there are also n number of students who are sitting in every IIM our country has. So they also are a part of our MBA Wallah family. So they come ahead, step up, and help you with the one-on-one mentorship sessions. The IIM alumni, or right now who are in their college or campuses. So they take out time, because there are of course some areas which you wish to discuss from your peer. Right, there are some queries which you wish to ask from your seniors, maybe who were dealing with the same kind of pressure right a year ago, because you can ask Quant doubts from me, verbal doubts from him. But of course, when you ask a student that how did you manage all the 3 areas, I guess he'll be able to answer such kind of questions better, because he himself has lived that journey a year ago only. All right, so they are going to come up, step up, and help you out in these 1:1 mentorship sessions. So let's go ahead, sir.
I think a quick wrap up for all the 3 variants. So you already know about this too.
So these guys are
some
the
of the names who act as mentors for our students
in the 1:1 mentorship session. That is Ayush, Komal, right? Lucknow guy, FMS Delhi, and now they are, of course, we have to update the credentials. They have gone out. They've already got the job. One of them is in Amex, right? And of course, we have Ashish, Akshay, and then we also have Radhika from FMS. So let's go ahead and let's just quickly, give them a flavor of all the 3 badges.
So let's just look at the summary. So there is a regular Ignite badge that you can go for, where all the features are available to you here. You can choose to opt for Infinity badge, where you get everything that you get in Ignite, and on top of that you have those extra features where you have books, you have One Pass, you have Khazana, where you have GDPI prep, and then we have Infinity Pro, which adds real test series, those 4 tests, and of course the very valuable, very useful mentorship sessions.
So I guess we should just give them a space, right? They can have a look at all the features. Ignite covers the classes for CAT and OMETs, complete syllabus, DPPs, mock test, infinite practice for the first time, right? Faculty video solutions for DPP, and the 24/7 doubt support. Infinity gets everything which you have in Ignite. Apart from that, set of 4 books, MBA One Pass, access to 554 tests across multiple modules, and then the access to all the upcoming batches, MBA Wallah English, Khazana, and GDPI prep. And for Infinite Pro, sir mentioned the RDS, the test before the test, and one-on-one mentorship session. I guess the features are quite clear. The dates are also quite clear. All right. I guess let's just go ahead and talk about the price.
Most important bit that probably you were waiting for. So here are the list prices on your screen for each one of these 3 variants. So for MBA Ignite,
7,499.
And when it comes to the Infinity, it is 14,999, and the Infinity Pro is for 16,999. But
this is, of course, as sir mentioned already, this is the list price. So for now, we of course do have the launch offers, and then how the launch offer looks like. Let's have a look. Ignite the complete CAT and OMETs preparation, including the Infinity practice, right now at 6499, and Ignite 2026 Infinity at 10999, and Ignite Infinity Pro at 12999. So you can see the difference between the costing over here, 10999 to 12999, is because of the 4 RTS feature, the offline test, and of course 1:1 mentorship. Right. So this is the offer price, sir.
Absolutely.
Right?
This is the offer price, but the offer is for a limited time period only.
And you can see the dates. Very, very
these
important.
Prices remain live till 30th of June. And if you are serious, I'm sure you don't have any reason to delay it further. You can join the batches today and start your prep.
And as you've already seen, the batch start in the first week of July. The classes begin. Right? All right.
So that's from us. And if you happen to have any questions that you want to ask us, please go ahead. I'll just request somebody from the team to maybe we can pass on a phone or something, and then we can go read up, reply. There you go. So let's see. Acha. Any questions that we need to take up?
I'll be taking CAT exam in 2029, so there is any batch. See, the idea is if you're going to start in 2029, you can start anytime. You can keep refining things. All right, so you have ample of time. You can start.
And some of you are saying I was zero. Which batch should I take? See, in every batch we always start from the basics.
Very, very basic.
Except for maybe those crash courses that we bring in pretty close to the exams where we have this immense time crunch. But otherwise, if you are somebody who is starting a prep today and you're not even sure of how to approach the prep, this is going to be a very relevant batch for you. This should work.
This batch for CAT and ZET, not just CAT and ZET, all the OMETs, SNAP, NMAT, CMAT, MAH-CET, every exam related to management entrance.
Varsha is a very regular on this particular channel, and she says consistency is a big issue. So I think one way of dealing it would be to join a batch where you know that you have regular classes and you have weekly tests. Absolutely. And you have DPPs. So at least your to-do list is going to auto-populate itself, and that in a lot of cases makes a huge amount of difference. So I think joining the batch can definitely, most certainly help.
And of course, in starting it might be a little overwhelming, but again, then you'll be pushed to the best potential you have.
Then somebody says VARC is a nightmare, and that's okay. I mean, you've realized, right? Nightmares are a part of life. They also serve some purpose. Okay. So similarly, VRC is also one of the sections that is there in the CAT exam, and even if it is a nightmare for you. So basically, I don't use emotionally loaded words. All you are saying is that if I were to write this exam today, I'm not going to get a score that I'd find acceptable when it comes to VARC. So the goal now is how to start scoring more in VARC, and we are definitely going to prepare you for that. And I think if you do follow the plan that I share over the course of next 150 days,
correct,
you'd hopefully think of VRC as an area of strength instead of nightmare.
Rather, I would advise everybody to just go ahead, right? We are starting the batch in the first week of July. You have some time. Do not waste it. We have already, recorded the foundation videos, and they are out there. Also on our sister channel MBA Hindi, also on our MBA English channel. You just go ahead and watch it so that you start building the momentum right now from this very day. All right, because the mind is a little rusty when you start after a long time. Specifically, if there are some working professionals sitting out there, I would say just get into the zone, get into the groove, and in the next 10 days we'll start a journey which you'll remember for a long time.
The best time to start your preparation was yesterday. The next best is today.
Absolutely.
Okay. So joining a batch and starting your prep are two different things. And as Rahul sir said, we have a lot of sessions for you on this channel and our sister channel. Correct. Make sure that you at least go through the strategy videos. And for some of the areas, as far as VARC goes, you can start practicing some passages. Okay.
And any new batch in English? See, we recently have had a very new batch in English. That is the MBA Ignite. Achha, make sure what you buy, right? There are two batches, MBA Ignite English and MBA Ignite English, right? Do not, buy MBA English and you wanted MBA English. Do not buy MBA English, you wanted MBA English. Be very sure what you're buying, because both have the same names, Ignite, right? But it is very, very clearly mentioned it is an English batch or a English batch. All right, YouTube, see, we already have some classes planned on YouTube. It is going on right there. All right, you must have seen Bhaskar sir covering, various topics for each and every subject, each and every module, I would say, in Quant. Surana sir is working with the PYQs, and I'm very sure VARC
We've
also,
seen VRC
some
videos,
regular practice is going on.
CVA,
Right.
plenty of practice.
So that will keep going on, right? It's nothing like that we are bringing the MBA Ignite batch, so that will be stopped, right? That is absolutely going to go on. But yes, as you've already mentioned, that if consistency is something where you're lacking, right, you want a structured program, then of course you can look for MBA Ignite English batch. So I guess now the doubts are quite similar. We can end it up now. But still, in case if you have some doubt and we somehow were not able to answer it, we apologize for that. But do leave it in the comments. We'll make sure that our team responds to it on time and your query is absolutely resolved. So let's begin a new journey in the first week of July. What do you say, Vikrant?
Absolutely. And don't forget that the offer prices are live only till 30th of June.
Absolutely.
So make the most of it, yes.
So see you in the classes next time. Take care. All the best.